Esports! Rumble is out. Los Ratones know about this. Kalista as well. Galio not allowed to be played. Give me that Skarner and let's get the same on the drafts. But now those champions up there are not allowed to be played. There's the Corky, Crowny. I'm so sorry. Keep in mind, Quinn is also not allowed to be played again.
Yeah, this is going to be a slightly different draft because, yeah. Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say because surely NORD will have to ban Skarner now, but
that's the gamble you take, right? On red side, I beg your pardon, on red side, you see if Los Ratones are going to feel pressured to ban out this Skarner. Now, the other thing that's on my mind is the Cassante, right? Hasn't been picked so far this series. There's the Vi, so Vi's gone. Rumble's out. Ambessa, Jace also completely untouched so far. Wukong's still there. We get the Orianna first pick. A lot of the mages already have kind of fallen to the wayside in mid lane, so I do also kind of understand this priority here from Los Ratones. So I wonder if No Way's gonna default now to the Hui. We spoke about it in the last draft as potentially being an option. We'll see if it ends up being one here. And again, all of the skirmishing junglers still up. Things like Wukong, things like Viego, things we know that Centurion is very, very comfortable on. Priority can be there.
It's a shame as well for Ratones that they wasted Jarvan on a content game. Because that is Velia's best champion, you know. So, yeah, we're having to dig deep in those champion pools. Obviously, with Zilean not available, we're having to first pick an Orianna instead. So that might hurt Nemesis in the long run. Can't pick his classy OTP there. And yeah, we're getting something a little different here with the Ashe. Got some. Okay, we're getting some engage coming through. We're getting some engage. This Nocturne pick is probably more to deny Velia than it is necessarily for Santorini himself.
My big concern is Velia can answer this with a Xin Zhao, and it's one of those champions that 1-to-1 in the early phase, if we don't get, you know, the game 3 of Doom game state repeat, something they could do. Seen a couple of other very abusive lane matchups or jungle matchups hovered there too, like the Viego and like the like Kindred. But of course, for Velia, it's all about comfort. I think you kind of brought up a very good point. This is the first time we've seen Los Ratones come off the back of a loss, right? Yeah. How do you tend to answer that? You tend to lean into more comfort things. I agree with your sentiment of the face you made. Out of all the picks that Velia hovered, I think Viego is kind of the one that I would have maybe not gone for. But there's also the Gragas, so expect that to be Bowser's nullifying pick into Chachi, and we will see where Chachi decides to go in terms of his answer in the 1v1.
Yeah, okay. I think. All right, we're reversing the roles a little bit.
Revenge.
Yeah, okay. It's gonna be Chachi on that Cho'Gath. I'm not really sure how the matchup goes, but to be honest, Cho'Gath kind of nullifies a lot of matchups anyway, so this would just be kind of chill from the top side. Still looking for some more like engage and people to jump in. I would imagine you want to pinch like the ADC pool here if you're NORD. The one downside is though, like Kai'Sa as a pick, I feel like loses a lot of value when you've got double AP solo laners, right? It's you're pretty heavy on the magic damage. So for Crowny, he's probably going to look at something a little bit different. I mean, what do we still have open here? Like we've got a lot of.
I'd be thinking about something like Misfortune or maybe Caitlyn. I think those are the picks that kind of make the most sense.
Unless you go into the mages, but obviously you're not going to do that with Gragas or Orianna.
Yeah, with double AP solos, I think it's pretty low chance. I kind of like the Ziggs call out towards the way. I think the other one should still here be the Hui. If it's something that No Way plays to a confident level where he's willing to pull it out here, I think they should definitely go for it. It's also kind of one of the few mages that can half help with the dive, right? Because things like the QW and even the ult have so much range on cast. It's worth actually throwing that one out there. The Twitch ban is another like, hey, don't do this. And maybe just trying to push Crowny towards ADs. They're a little bit more comfortable with killing here.
The final ban for Los Ratones is going to be the Vel'Koz taking another one.
Sure.
No way, but no way. I mean, you got to go with the way. You got to go with the way. It makes sense unless
he's got an unorthodox champion pool. To be fair,
yeah,
right?
He's played Anivia before. We've seen him hop onto the Anivia. Cassio in certain matchups. It won't be Cassio this game, but
I like this.
He's got a lot of mages in his back pocket, so yeah.
All right.
This one is what we were expecting, a little more of kind of standard here as well. Saving last pick for support for NORD as well here for Treats to really get a powerful bot lane, which makes sense from the aspect like Ashe can be a lane bully, or pretty much is a lane bully as far as ADCs go. So if you see this bot lane matchup, you can pick that support to make sure that Ashe can have as much pressure as possible in the lane phase.
Sivir.
And Reckless knows how to play alongside this one. He was a king on that Sivir. I don't know. When you look into the front line, are you comfortable, or do you bring something in the lines of an Alistar to try and peel and protect, or do you go crazy and bring? Okay,
wouldn't be too bad. Reckless feels a Bard game, and you know what? I see the angle for it. There's 4 dashless champions. Nocturne's the only champ that can technically spell shield it, so I don't mind it. And when you think about some of the answers that you would maybe see into a Bard, it's like you'd go something like Blitzcrank or something like really like trying to break the game. Alistar is just a very standard, champ, but he's going to struggle to follow up on the dive with, Nocturne, depending on how far Centurion goes time and time again. Yeah. I feel like this is potentially the kind of pick where if I'm Reckless, I could be looking to have a bit of an all-timer game on the Bard. We'll see how he navigates it, though.
Yeah, I kind of like the group up strat from the Rats, to be honest. Like, I'm just worried if Crowny's going to get yelled at by Reckless if he right clicks a champion before he's got 400 CS. Like, what are you doing? Stop doing that. And but I also honestly, from the side of Nord, I think this is super disjointed for a draft. Like, you got go triggers and like diving in from Nocturne, but what's the follow up?
I don't think it's that bad. They've got enough pick where I feel like they can kind of leverage the Ashe Arrow and they can play off vision. As long as Centurion doesn't go too far in. I think what we're going to see Nocturne function as is kind of more of a follow-up to pick starting, right?
Yeah.
At the very least. That's my hope. If they don't do that and the Centurion's diving in, then I think there's big worries for how the composition is going to work out.
Well, composition is out on the table, and this is after a loss versus Los Ratones. So with this in mind, we finally got to see an L on the team. How do they bounce back? Can they finish? Or will Nord actually pull the reverse sweep? I'll see you soon as we jump.
Hello everybody and welcome back. We're getting ready to go into game number 4 between Los Ratones and NORD. NORD finally have showed us a loss for Los Ratones. I do think Los Ratones have got themselves a more comfortable comp this time around. The biggest problem was Bals fell behind on a Quinn, and Quinn just doesn't do anything when that champion falls behind. Gragas is a champion who can fall behind. It's not the end of the world, so I much prefer this draft for them. Nord, though, they're grouping up. They're looking for a little bit of a group play action here. Santorin separates himself from his team and just walks into all of Los Ratones, but Baus is actually the one who's now getting run down. He's isolated. He's going to belly bop over the wall towards Reckless and towards safety. Nobody goes down, but Nord, it looks like they're scouting for a potential lane swap here.
Minions have spawned.
Trouble's muted, so I'm going to talk a little bit more.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm
Hello,
right here.
welcome back.
I'm right here. I feel like Nord got kind of sweetened up by getting that level 1 kill in game number 3, which kind of sort of snowballed later on into the game that we saw. However, here, not going to be the case, and I have a few thoughts about both compositions, but I'm going to start with Nord right here, because Nocturne is one of my favorite champions to watch in pro play. It enables a lot of side lane pressure. It enables a lot of fun combos with your Rihanna ult, with the Wombo combos and all that. However, I feel like champions like Vi and Nocturne, when they're the only ones diving into the backline, they're only useful for one thing, and that's the function of their ult. Right here, this Nocturne is just switching the lights off, and I think that's about it. Santorin's gonna have to find some creative ways to sort of, not necessarily quote-unquote be useful in the fights, but just not die by over-diving in the backline when there's no follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now, that is when level 6 comes in. So, early, what is going to be the game plan? I mean, like, Nocturne's not particularly famed for his 3-6 ganks. And lane swap has broken out. This time, Baus on the Gragas definitely going to be able to handle those lane swaps a little bit better. Actually, took the refillable pot as well, so it's a little bit more sustained in the lane, while Crowny and Reckless able to get an early shove in. Vizichachi's already eaten a fair amount of poke, but I don't think they're going to go for a tower dive, especially with the fact that Velia is on the other side of the map. Santorin is making his way up towards top side, clearing upwards, so there is an angle available to potentially look for something. But the reset's coming in. Doesn't look like it's going to be the game plan. Chachi's going to be hard to poke and kill out just due to the passive on the Cho'Gath, meaning that he's going to have that sustain, he's going to have that healing. Noah eating a serious amount of poke here versus Nemesis. Nemesis handling this early phase very well on the Orianna.
And already the reset coming through for both of these bot lanes. They're going to swap back to, well, I was going to say original lanes, but technically the Los Ratones bot lane is original lane was top lane, so that's where they're headed to right now. Chachi just about TP'd into this lane, and he's about to be... Oh, hold up.
Flash comes over from Santorin, looking for Baus. Baus has that flash if he can get to the wall in time, but the flash! The silence from Vizichachi secures first blood.
Very well played. I actually think it was a bit of an overstep right there from Baus, because he had done a fantastic job getting Chachi super low, and the rotation was already coming through from Crowny and Reckless, so there was a pretty low Cho'Gath that would have to be, unfortunately, in a 1 versus 2. But now dying, you kind of give a little bit of the edge over, because you know Santorin's going to stay towards top side. There was a Scuttle Crab over on the top side as well, so you can't necessarily be as aggressive as you want to on Chachi. Now that Santorin is out of the picture, we're going to see a little bit more pressure towards the top, but again, a little bit of an overstep. My bad, guys. On me. And he's going to head towards that bot side of the map.
Oh,
Clean.
No, he just goes down. Nice little tower dive there from Velia, who's actually going to be able to make his way into the jungle and break away. I don't think Santorin's going to catch him. Treats may stop the recall on Nemesis, but not really going to achieve much. Just going to lose a chunk of health. As Velia running into Santorin potentially, but Santorin not going to be able to find him. Reckless makes sure that Velia gets out nice and safe. And there we are. Easy pickup.
Yeah, the state of that mid lane is not very healthy for Nemesis, especially if No Way keeps it right there. He's going to need a very quick help, but it's going to be a very quick push, forcing the TP off of Nemesis straight to that mid lane. So good stuff right there on the bounce. And Los Ratones getting their first tower plating over on the top side of the map. I'm not sure if it has been responded with a tower plating yet from Xmati and Treats over on the bot side. Thank you very much, observers. Nowhere near, actually. The wave gets pretty chipped every single time those creeps walk into the barrel.
Yeah, it's gonna be able to hold the wave nice and easy here. Bit of a force here for the side of NORD. They're not really gonna be able to go for a tower dive. The Treats is angling it. They spot it out. They're actually bringing Santorin in the area. Ignite thrown down by Treats. Baus is gonna lose that healing cut on him fairly soon. Are they gonna be able to play the stop game? Is he going to be able to make the escape? Dodging all the spells, dodging the Qs. I mean, he can just catch the wave with a Q, clear it out as effectively as possible. Baus gets knocked back under the tower, gets caught by the knockup from Santorin, and Treats is the one to get the kill. They should be able to take a tower plate off the back of that. As Velia going to move over towards the grubs and answer back. I feel like we're finally in a game state where both these teams are actually firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared though, because this sort of mirrors game 1 and game 2, where Los Ratones are like, listen, we're respecting Baus. TP's back into a 3-man again.
He might find himself in some serious danger, gets the knock up. Treats is going to go down. Baus finds the turnaround. Cast comes out, sends them back in. Fool him once. You're not going to get him twice.
Absolutely insane right there from Baus and Treats. Ends up going down, trading right there, and doesn't even end up going down. Lost chapter, this is going to be the infamous rocket belt into Cosmic from Baus, full glass cannon. And let's watch this one more time, as the top lane tower, I think, has only one tower plating remaining from Reckless and Crowny. And let's watch this one more time. The engage from Treats right here. Straight into the belly bop. The flash came through too late from Treats. And he ends up going down to the ramped up tower.
Oh, Velia getting a little bit of bullied thrown in from Treats, but the problem is Chachi. losing a fair amount of HP. Tower's getting turned onto. The Paranoia is thrown out on the bottom side of the map as they are looking for the gank onto Baus. Baus will be going down off the back of that, but ultimately, this could just come at the cost of that first tower. Crowny's been whittling away at that one slowly and surely. And Nord, they've now used that Paranoia. They've now used that close onto them. And Velia's still in the area. He's still got level 6. This could be very dicey for Nord.
They're looking to push with the next wave. They do have cannon as well. And there's nowhere near to defend. No teleports to come in to defend. Velia pushing them off over to tier 2.
Oh, good lockdown. That could be the opportunity. Velia has that ultimate still, but doesn't get enough damage off. And to blade the Ruin King. Tower number 1 goes over to Crowny. And that's already 1 feat stack charged. Nord do have the kills, though. So they've denied the kill opportunity. It's going to have to be for objectives for Los Ratones.
That's an entire tower, though. Has gone down 8 minutes into the game. We were chatting to each other during the draft, and you're like, oh, this has to be like some sort of Caitlyn lane. Well, it looks like a sort of Caitlyn lane. This is what usually a Caitlyn lane would do to towers. Right here, you're going to swap Crowny over to bot lane and start chipping over that tower as well. Very close to the Dragon Stew, which is something that Los Ratones really like to stack. And nothing to see here, boys. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, I mean,
Thumbs up.
he does take a lot of heat from the enemy team, so... Like you said, he's glass cannon, so he's going to do a lot of damage, but he's also going to take a lot of damage and be very easy to pick up. Nemesis has honestly played really well here versus No Way. Handled this lane very effectively on the Orianna. No Way kind of struggling a little bit in this one. Actually got a pretty significant CS lead over the Nemesis, over No Way. 90 to 73 in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 10 CS per minute so far. Or Nemesis.
A little bit redemption arc for Nemesis for game number 3. Wasn't a great Zillion showing.
I don't think the Zillion was the problem in game number 3 trouble. I think Nemesis did as well as he could with what he was given. And what he was given was a 0-8 Quinn top lane.
Hey, man. He initiated the dying, okay? Level 1. Come on.
Yeah, sure. My bad.
Can't always blame Baus.
I mean, we can
here
for
we
that
go.
last game, but Baus has played
Listen.
very well outside of
Go,
that.
go. That's a fair and square level 1 right here. Level 8 on both. Ultimate up on both.
Baus is doing good. He's juggling around the edge here. Chachi's actually losing a lot of HP. He's got the cask available. Catches him with the Q. Baus
Oh, flash.
forces the flash out from Chachi. I think Chachi's just been out of mana meant. He knew that he couldn't take that fight anymore. He was losing the fight as it was. He had no spells. That was just donezo.
20 seconds for the next boy grabs. On the top side of the map.
I reckon this could turn the tower off, or you could just
Oh.
put No Way in a terrible position. They're going to line everything up. He's
Oh,
going
flash.
down. No Way is picked up by Nemesis. Velia steals the form as well, just for a bit of extra health. And with Grubs up, that's probably where the attention's going to be going here for Los Ratones. They got 3 already. They're looking to make it 6.
Yeah, great jungle support synergy right there. Both Reckless and Velia focus on that mid lane. Uh-oh.
That might be one dead robot. There he goes. Shut down for Santorin. That could deny any more Grubs going over. Velia was able to get 1, so he denies the feat stack, but not getting 5 and 6 is going to sting a little bit just because Nemesis greeted for a tower plate. Oh, he got
Great
axe
snipe
by
right here from
Maddie.
Mati. Okay, it wasn't from that far away, so it was a snipe. It was an insane snipe, but still, it hits Nemesis. Nemesis greeting for the tower plate in mid. It's very easy to sort of forget champions like Nocturne. I mentioned it yesterday. Champions that can dive you from super far away, that can gank you in the heat of the moment, like Pantheon with semi-globals, TF, Nocturne, or things that have invisibility. Sometimes you tend to forget they do exist. And Nemesis got punished right there, whether he forgot or not. In respect, the ultimate on that Nocturne being up and available. And I think this is a very great start for Santorin as well. Reminder, what we said earlier on in the game. This is a Nocturne that's going to be diving solo wherever he's diving. There's not enough follow-up from the side of NORD to dive into the backline. So being strong in the early game, Stride Breaker just about completed as he leaves the base, is going to be huge, finding those key targets in the backline to assassinate.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Los Ratones have now rotated all their attention towards this bottom side of the map. Gonna grab himself that Scuttle Crab as a denial pick here. And the fight is on for those boot upgrades. Teleports coming in as Baus got a big deep shove on the top side and now moves over to join his team.
Treats needs to be a little bit careful. Baus hasn't been seen yet. He's on that ward, which is his own. As it will get spotted out by Maddie. They know what's going on. Santorin no ultimate though, so I think Los Ratones is just going to be able to pick up this first dragon for themselves. And their second stack, as No Way is forced to flash from Reckless's Tempered Fate. Does not want to be getting caught by that one. We saw an ult come out from X-Maddie. It went between the goalposts in the bot side. And I think the action is going to simmer off now.
I don't know if No Way has had flash for the last 12 minutes and 45 seconds at all. I feel like Los Ratones have done a stellar job at keeping him grounded in the mid lane and now bringing 5 members onto Treats and X-Matty, waiting for the wave. Santorin hiding in the bush, does have the ultimate. It could be catastrophic if you turn the lights off on a dive. So Los Ratones are just gonna take whatever they can, push it in the wave, take some of that jungle away from Santorin, and just back off, come back in for a few more tower platings. Now they're pulling TP, Chachi on the back line.
Throwing everything down onto Nemesis, who has flash. He's going to blow it out and try and get the escape. There's going to be the portal to safety, but X-Maddie's able to secure the kill. They get the lockdown onto Maddie. Velia dives in forwards, gets that Blade the Ruin King off, but doesn't go in with the Heartbreaker. Just cools it off. They lose Nemesis. Fantastic lockdown, fantastic flank from Chachi. Really, really well played by NORD.
Yeah, but now what? I feel like this is what I've been seeing in games 1 and 2. NORD claps back, and that's great. However, there's nothing to take on the map right here. You're just pushing in that bot lane wave, which is going to get caught one way or another. Baus is pushing over in the top lane. You see the TP coming through from Nemesis, so not much is going to be lost here. That wasn't even tire plating, I don't think, because it just disappeared.
No, it disappeared in time. We'll see the
It
fight
just
again,
disappeared,
though.
so... Yeah, the ultimate coming through from Nocturne. The safety tunnel, as you called it, wasn't very safe after all. Straight into the gums of Chachi on that Choga. But I feel like Nemesis was pretty much dead anyway in this iteration, and there wasn't much to be earned on the map. That was a TP that was committed for that. That was many ultimates that were committed on that. A kill is a kill. However, again, reminder again in game number 1 and 2, meaningless kills doesn't necessarily mean progress on the map, and NORD have not necessarily progressed much on the map.
Yeah, they got a little bit of tower damage. They didn't even get that plate, like we said, because it fell off. So they got a like the most copium win possible off the back of that one. Velia just stole the red buff from Santorin, I believe. I believe he did. They both have red buffs though, so I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, I think that Velia was able to steal that one away. No, he doesn't. Thank you, Observer, for making me look silly, but I appreciate it. Nice steal there from Velia. Honestly, I've been really impressed with Velia this series, because I feel like when you look at Los Ratones, you look at Baus, you look at Reckless, you look at Crowny, you look at Nemesis, like some big names, and Velia kind of maybe slips down that kind of high priority. But even in that last game, when Baus made life as hard as possible for his jungler by dying on loop, Velia was still able to go into the enemy jungle, take objectives. He's able to steal objectives in game 1. He's been a really consistently good player. Reckless takes the love tunnel to safety. It's Valentine's Day. Nemesis maybe coming in on the flank. Crowley's actually popped the ultimate here. Santorin does have the paranoia to turn the lights off. Doesn't hit onto the tower. And immediately they just follow up on to the Orianna. Caught by the fear. Nemesis goes down. Maddie gets another kill. Now Crowley's the one being locked down. Can they get him away? Tunnel to safety. Velia gets caught out a little bit, but he's able to make his way out to safety as well. As it looks like the Herald is going to be the attention here for NORD. I don't know if Los Ratones can stop this.
I feel like that was a great engagement. There was 4 ultimates committed by NORD just to kill Nemesis, but it was worth. They knew he had no flash. They pinned him down. They threw everything at him, and this time around, it results into something. They send No Way down bot lane to stop Baus. They take the Reef Trail for themselves, and they have pressure over on the top side of the map. No Way. I've been in a little bit of trouble here.
I think he's in some serious danger.
No flash.
Baus goes forwards, gets the E off onto him. No cask available though, so No Way should be able to get the escape off. Reckless tunnels the way. And Velia actually may just be stopping the recall here from Chachi. I mean, he's got a Kraken Slayer. Chachi hasn't actually got any resistances. He's just got a lot of health, and that's exactly what a Kraken Slayer wants to be doing. Nemesis comes in with the shields, with the lockdown. They're going to secure this kill. Chachi goes down, shut down, picked up for Velia. Tower does fall in the mid lane. The Cranny should be able to stop a second charge from breaking out here on the Sivir while dealing with that wave. There it is. Los Ratones. They do lose something, but they're able to fire back. Now, with the Dragon spawning up, I do want to see Nord actually not put too much attention onto this gank here. Unless they can kill Velia, they're actually just going to turn their attention once again towards Nemesis, who has that shockwave if he can get it off, but he's just caught by the CC chain. Shockwave only lands onto Treats. Baus is teleported in, but Maddie's got the slows. Flashed away from the arrow here from Baus. And Los Ratones, they've still got their jungler, so they can still contest for this feat of strength.
No, this is great stuff from both teams right here. I take back what I said from NORD, because I feel like they have been focusing a lot more, at least in this mid game, on objectives. When the kill happened over in the top lane on Chachi, they took that mid lane tier 1. In response, Los Ratones, when that skirmish happened right after it on the top side of the map, they took mid lane tier 1, and now there's going to be a fight on who's going to be taking that next dragon. One apiece for both Los Ratones and NORD. And that next dragon would be the second one for both these teams. If Noe can actually stop Baus here, which he actually does. You know that Baus does not have teleport to join the fight. On the other hand, Noe doesn't have his ultimate to join. And it's one of the bigger tools on this champion, especially when we're talking about area of effect. Reckless now on the top side. Noe has sniffed it.
Oh,
He's sniffing it out. Nice fear.
This is a mistake from Los Ratones, though, because now they don't have their support to stop this dragon. I mean, Velia can try to jump over the wall, that blast cone, and then flash out to safety, but it's going to be a hard one, and I think they're just going to have to give it up. So the feat of strength should go over to the side of NORD. Los Ratones just going to have to forfeit that one. And honestly, I think it was a bit of a mistake from Reckless to make his way out to that top side. Yes, Baus was not getting the reset off because Noe stopped him, but ultimately, sending too many people to the wrong side of the map. NORD kind of making Los Ratones fall for their own playbook here. Sending multiple people away from where they really should be. As now Reckless gets himself caught out. Maybe able to get a love tunnel over the wall to break the fear. Gets the Q in. Flashes the ultimate from Maddie. Gets away to safety.
All right, a bit of a few moment from Reckless right there. No more Deathless. Died plenty, I think, in the last game and in the Lulu game before that. However, everything quite even on the map. With just one more tower going over to the side of Los Ratones, and Baus is waiting. He's waiting for the bomba. He's looking to see how much damage he can do to Noe. Not that much.
Yeah, not a lot at all.
First. Looking for his rocket belt second. Closing in the distance as well. And so far, so good for NORD. And the reason why I'm seeing this game a little bit more from NORD's eyes is because it's very similar, again, to the first two games that we saw, where NORD were fighting back, but with no real context behind the fights. And right here, they've been pinning down a lot of these objectives. They've got 2 dragons for themselves. They stopped the stacking of the Void Grubs. They've got feats of strength. They have managed to take down towers. And every single time a skirmish breaks out on the map, it has intent behind it. So this is a game that, as Santorin said, he sees the two teams as even. This could be anyone's game.
Yeah, it really does feel like it's still anyone's game. Gold lead barely in the favor of Los Ratones. 1,000 up. Looks like Reckless once again is looking for a potential gank angle, but Visichachi, he smelt the rat. He's got the extra move speed as well. Does get caught here. However, they get the slow down. The cask is beautifully placed. The lights get turned off, but where are they going to attack? Chachi goes down. No way teleported in, and Santorin's ultimate, it just was a deterrent more than anything.
That was a 5-man top committed just to kill Chachi from Los Ratones right there. And Santorin pretty much turned the lights off to try and dissuade the situation. Wasn't quite the case. Velia just about getting blast going to safety.
If anything, that didn't feel like a dodge. Oh, hold on. Treats has been caught, has to flash the wall and pop the ultimate. Yeah, it felt like that wasn't a dodge from Velia. He just, like, happened to hit the blast cone as everything got thrown at him.
Atakan has spawned on the bot side of the map. And NORD are going to somehow try to make their way through that jungle. Getting the push out on bot lane and mid lane is usually key, because you get some pretty easy avenues to the river instead of having to pinch yourself through the jungle. But Crowny might get caught here.
Crowny has flash and that barrier available to him. He's able to make a break away. The flash over the wall. X-Man is keeping the pressure up onto him. There's going to be the barrier, but it's not going to do anything. Shut down for Santorin. Why was Crowley so far up? He may just have lost his team that objective there. Bounce is here in the area. About to get that flashback up. Velia also just skulking about within the shadows. But Nord, this unit is going to be very hard to push for, especially without Crowley. Crowley may have just thrown this one away.
This is where the series gets interesting. Because if anyone just tuned in for a super simple 3-0, isn't this more fun? This is supposedly the second best team of the NLC, taking it up towards Los Ratones. And it looks good, and it looks competitive. 1,000 gold about is the difference between the two teams, with the tower going down now from Vizichachi. And the members who need to have kills on them and are fed on the side of Nord is the Ashe and the Nocturne. Great early game bridge with the Nocturne. Santorin doing a fantastic job at getting the picks. And now it's Xmati's turn. Put down the damage. He's got enough front line. He's got enough engage, disengage, peel. And even turn the lights off if you want. And it's up to Xmati to actually step up, because a lot of people keep talking about like all these big names that have played on the LEC from Los Ratones. Xmati was on the LEC. Treats was on the LEC. Santorin has played in Tier 1. Chachi, he was playing in the LEC before it was even called the LEC. So there is a lot of experience and talent on both sides of the coin right here. And Nord are showing us that if this is what we're looking forward on the upper bracket final and the actual final, then I'm very excited.
I mean, yeah, the predictions really are that this is what the final will be. It'll be Nord versus Los Ratones. And regardless of who wins this series, I think it really sets up for a potentially incredibly exciting finals. I feel like, you know, Nord, if they win this, I mean, it means we get a little bit more Los Ratones because we get knocked into the lower bracket. There's a nice little escape there from Crowley with this spell shield. But if Nord win this and they're forced into that lower bracket, they are going to be so much better prepared by the time they come and meet Los Ratones again. It could be a potentially incredible finals between these two teams if that is what we expect. If that's what we see, because it is what we expect, regardless. But Los Ratones, don't count them out. The gold lead's still in their favor. They have made a couple of positional errors, though. Definitely be getting pulled around the map, which is something we're not used to seeing from Los Ratones. They're a team who typically are the ones that dictate the pace of the game. They're the ones that make you kind of march to the beat of their drum. Nord this time around have been on top of that, and they've got feat of strength. They're about to get this soul. They're 4 minutes off soul. This could be a little bit dicey, this game 4 here for the side of Los Ratones.
I feel like the ease of execution is just not on the side of Los Ratones, because even though they have so much damage, a lot of mixed damage as well, they've got some sort of disengage tools. Their engage is very difficult to always land. You've got an ultimate with Bard, you've got maybe a cask with Baus, but usually Baus is on the side lane, so he's looking potentially for a flank to find the backline. Things like this becomes a little bit hard to engage in those fights, and as you mentioned, dictate how the game goes. Usually when you have the tools to catch someone like this one.
Love tunnel out. They're just going to put Santorin miles away from his team. His spell shield's going to fade out. He gets caught by the slow, but no more follow-up. Beautiful block from Santorin on the spell shield. Now, No Way might find himself in danger. Heartbreaker forward here from Velia. They look for the knock-up. There's going to be the shockwave. Bounces on the flank. Cast comes down. That's going to be one. It's traded out, though, to 1-for-1 so far. Nemesis is eating a whole heap of damage. They've taken out Crowley. Xmati's putting the damage in. Bomber! Bounce comes forward. Secures the kill. Reckless charges forwards. Velia with the stolen Nocturne. Heartbreaker's in. Lockdowns for the kill. Still in the kill onto Velia. And now Velia going to be run down by his own Alistair. Here's the charge forwards. Vizichachi makes the escape. Los Ratones, they just about pull that teamfight victory out.
They just about. That was a 4 versus 5. I don't know if No Way got to press any buttons in this fight. That was a fantastic flank coming through from Baus. And he came off of the back of a very botched engage, I want to say, from the side of Nord. They were just chasing around Los Ratones like they were headless chickens, and there was a pretty easy way out for them. Let's have a look at this one more time, because I'm just very confused. The lights go off. Santorin is looking for an engage, and it is just going too far, because they have already gone through the tunnel. He has no flash. He's forced to use his shield here. And then No Way steps way too far forward, gets engaged on, and when Baus gets into the scene, there's just no way out. The fact that they actually managed to win, to get that close on the 4 versus 5, look at Matty. He's pretty much free hitting for majority of this time. A very clutch Q at the very end to allow Baus to grab that kill onto Matty.
I've been saying it since the beginning of the split. I genuinely believe X-Matty is the best ADC in this tournament. He's so good. And when enabled, when set up... No, I won't hear it. I won't hear it. I
think someone in... Listen. I think someone on the side of Los Ratones might disagree with you.
Oh, of course they're going to disagree with me. There's no way they're not going to disagree with me on that. But I think X-Matty right now, he just had an absolutely killer's eye game. He just needed a team and a comp that enables him. And these are the kind of comps that enable him, where he has people to stand in front and he's able to kind of play that proper, true hyper carry role. He's been playing absolutely fantastic, especially in these last 2 games.
Again, the gold right here, not a huge difference, but Velia, you said that it's very easy to get lost in the sauce of all the big names when you're a viewer. However, Velia here, he literally bailed out Los Ratones from this team fight.
Oh, 100%.
1.7k up, 3 items completed right now, 4-0-3.
Just for context, there's been conversations about who our 3 MVPs are. I've been saying Velia the whole time. I think this guy's been playing incredibly well, and he's on his Viego, a textbook like Velia champion, a signature champion of him, and he's having an absolutely cracking game so far. Like you said, he's the reason Los Ratones looks so good in that last team fight. He did so much work for his team, and now they're setting up for another. With that dragon spawning up in 13 seconds, they don't want to give Soul over. Knockup does connect onto Crowley, but he's popped the ultimate, but the slow is going to lay on for a while. Santoran's ultimate comes out. There's going to be a big group up, and that should just be the end of Treats. He's going to get secured already. Velia's going for the knockup. Reckless actually found a great Cosmic Fate onto 2. Catches them out. Vizichachi's going low. This is the opening they need. Down goes Chachi. Maddie's going to try his hardest, but Baus will pop him. Double kill onto the Gragas. That might just be the game.
All right, enough nonsense. They've got 4 members alive. So much damage through that Viego as well. I think this might just be the end of content, if you will, for today, guys, because Los Ratones, they came to play. They didn't come to play silly games. They're here to win. They'll take their first inhibitor. They're looking for the wave. They've got the wave. They've got the damage. And this is it.
I don't think Treats is going to be able to do anything about this one. Los Ratones, they suffered their first loss, but they came back with a vengeance. 30 minutes on the clock. The Nexus will fall. Baus has to die on the fountain. Takes a sip. Down he goes. Nexus next to follow. NORD will be knocked into the lower bracket. But man,